All right, question 4. 53% of our students got this correct on the mock exam. A teacher will determine the total number of books to order for a class using the function b of n equals 4n, where n represents the number of students in the class. What is the independent quantity in this situation? So there's a lot of vocabulary here. Notice that this is not a problem where you're doing calculations. You're just using your understanding of the vocabulary to figure out what's going on. So the actual question is, what is the independent quantity? So we have to know what independent versus dependent mean. And you just got to remember this. Independent is the vocabulary for your x value, and dependent is your vocabulary for the y value. So they want to know, what is the x value? That's all they're saying. They're just saying, what does the x mean in this problem? So this is the question. What does the x mean in this situation? So here's what they gave us. B of n equals 4n. And so this is a function. We can break this down to make it look more like x and y though. When I see b of n, that's just a big fancy nickname for your y value. So really b of n just means y equals, and instead of the n is really where your x usually is. So this is really saying y equals 4x. So x was your n, and n, go back to the problem, n represents, so now I need to know what n is. N represents the number of students in the class. F, the number of students in the class. So again, you need to know the vocabulary. They wanted to know, what is the independent quantity? Independent means your x value. So what they're really asking for, what does the x mean in this situation? So here's my function, and the variable that's in place of where the x usually is the n. So this n is what I'm looking for, the number of students in the class, F.